All right, today's lesson is about calculating parallel and perpendicular slopes. First off, let's talk about what exactly do parallel and perpendicular mean. Remember that parallel is talking about two lines that never ever touch. So they never ever touch, they never meet, they'll never cross. They are exactly parallel. They run in the same direction forever and ever and ever. Perpendicular is referring to two lines that meet at a 90-degree angle. All right, so parallel never touch, perpendiculars do touch, but they cross at a 90-degree angle exactly. All right, now let's talk about the slopes of these two lines, these two different types of lines. All right, parallel lines, if they never cross, they have the same slope. All right, perpendicular lines have slopes that are inverse reciprocals. You write this down and then I'll explain what that means. And I think I spelled that wrong, but you know what I'm trying to say, inverse reciprocals. All right, so what this means is if my slope is 1/4, all right, inverse means the opposite operation. This is a positive 1/4, so if I make it the inverse, it's going to be a negative 1/4. That's the inverse. And now I need the reciprocal. So reciprocal means to flip it over. So this is going to be -4/1. So the two slopes that are perpendicular are 1/4 and -4. All right, so let's actually put this into practice. All right, find the slope of the line through points 3, 1, and 9, 5. To do this, we're going to do our slope formula, which remember is the change in y over the change in x. So to get the change in y, we're going to subtract y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. All right, so our y2 is 5 minus y1, which is 1, over x2, which is 9, over x1, which is 3. All right, 5 minus 1 is 4, 9 minus 3 is 6. So my slope is 4/6, but I want this in the most reduced form possible, so I'm going to reduce this guy to 2/3. All right, so m, which means slope, is 2/3. My parallel slope, remember what I said about parallels? They never touch, so they have the same slope. So my parallel slope is 2/3. My perpendicular slope is the inverse reciprocal. So this is positive. We know it's going to be negative now. And then we want to flip it over. So my 3 was on the bottom. It's now going to be on the top. And my 2 is going to flip to the bottom. So my perpendicular slope is -3/2. All right, let's find the slope of the line through points 1, 1, and 2, 7. Once again, y2, 7 minus y1, which is 1, over x2, which is -2, minus x1, which is 1. 7 minus 1 is 6, over -2 minus 1, which is -3. We want to reduce this as far as possible, so 6 divided by -3 is -2. So my slope is -2. My parallel slope, remember parallel slopes are the same, is also -2. And then I want to flip this over, all right, and change the sign to make the perpendicular slope. So it was negative, so now it's going to be a positive. And then flip it over. How do I flip over a whole number? All right, let's look at this. Remember that 2 as a fraction is really 2/1, right? So we went inverse, so not -2, we went +2, and then flip it over. So I'm going to have 1/2. So my perpendicular slope is 1/2. All right, find the slope of the line through the points -4, 3, and 0, 8. Sorry, 8, 0. All right, y2, which is 0, minus y1 is 3, over x2, which is 8, minus x1, which is -4. Make sure you get both minus signs in there because it's minus a -4. All right, don't miss that. Okay, 0 minus 3 is -3. 8 minus -4 is the same thing as saying 8 plus 4, which is 12. So -3 divided by 12 is a -1/4. So my slope is -1/4. 1/4. My parallel slope is the same, negative 1/4. Change the sign and flip it over, so my perpendicular slope is just 4. Looking at D, we want to do the same thing again. So y2, which is 5, minus y1, which is 4, over x2, which is negative 4, minus x1, which is negative 1, equals 5 minus 4 is 1 over negative 4 minus negative 1, so 4 plus 1. So negative 4 plus 1 is negative 3, so my slope is a negative 1/3. So my parallel slope is also a negative 1/3. Flip it over and change the sign for my perpendicular, so my perpendicular slope is 3. All right, we have lots of more examples. So let's work a couple of these. They're wanting us to actually compare two different lines. All right, so we're gonna have to find the slope of both of these and then see how they're related to each other. All right, let's work this first one. The slope of line A is going to be y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. All right, minus minus makes it plus. 3 plus 2 is 5, over 6 plus 4 is 10. So this is 1/2. So the slope of A is 1/2. All right, then to find line B, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. 6 minus 8 is negative 2. 9 minus 12 is negative 3. So I have negative 2 over negative 3. So this is a positive 2/3. All right, so what it's asking us, we're saying they are. All right, it wants us to look at these two slopes and say whether these two lines are parallel, perpendicular, or whether they're neither and they're just two lines hanging out together. All right, well, in order to be parallel, we know they'd have to have the same slope. Is 1/2 the same as 2/3? Nope, so they're not parallel. In order to be perpendicular, the slopes have to be inverse reciprocals of each other. So 1/2 is my first one. So the inverse reciprocal of 1/2 is negative 2. Is this negative 2? No. Okay, so they're not parallel, they're not perpendicular, they're neither. All right, let's look at the next one. All right, passes through points negative 520 and 0, 0, and 9, 3, and negative 4, 16. So let's start with the slope of line S. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And this equals 0 minus 20 is negative 20. And 0 minus negative 5, so 0 plus 5, is 5. So negative 20 divided by 5 is negative 4. So my slope of line S is negative 4. All right, let's find line T. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So 16 minus 3 is 13. Negative 4 minus 9 is negative 13. So 13 over negative 13 equals negative 1. All right, are these parallel? Are they the same? No. Are they perpendicular? Is one the flipped over opposite signed version of the other? Nope. So these are also neither. All right, let's do G. Line F passes through these 2 points and line G passes through these 2 points. So negative 5 minus negative 35 over negative 1 minus negative 7. All right, so negative 5 plus 35 is going to be positive 30. Negative 1 plus 7 is 6. So 30 divided by 6 is 5. So this slope is 5. And then G, I have 1 minus 2 over negative 5 minus negative 10. Change this to plus. So 1 minus 2 is negative 1 over negative 5 plus 10, which is just 5. So my slope is negative 1/5. Are they parallel? Are they the same? No. Are they inverse reciprocals of each other? Well, let's look. 5 is positive, negative 1/5 is negative. All right, so they're definitely inverses. And if I take 5 and flip it upside down. Yes, so these guys are perpendicular. All right, looking at H. So I'm going to say y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So 0 plus 4 equals 4. 10 minus 5 equals 5. So the slope of J is 4/5. Let's do slope of K. So 1 minus negative 3 over 10 minus 5. 1 plus 3 is 4 over 10 minus 5, which is 5. So the slope of line K is 4/5. Are these parallel, perpendicular, or neither? They're the same, so they are parallel. All right, so now you've seen what all three types looks like: parallel, perpendicular, and neither. Good luck on your homework, and as always, email me if you have any questions.